So we've got Angie Morgan on the phone. She's a Marine leadership consultant and coach. She and her partner, Courtney Lynch, also a Marine lawyer, have a business called LeadStar, LeadStar.us. You can find more about them there. But I want to turn now to an upcoming book that the two of you have written that's coming out later in 2022, I believe. Bet on You, How to Win with Risk. What was the driving concept behind it?
Well, I think for both of us that we've written a lot about leadership in general. We wanted to drill into a concept that we hear the people we coach, work with, advise, talk about often, but don't necessarily truly understand it, and have this really negative perception of it, and it's about taking risks. And so when we started our journey into just the research around risk, one of the things that made us aware is that we in general are pretty risk-averse people, but that wasn't always. You know, it started off small and it kind of snowballed along the way. We're entrepreneurs. We've been in business for quite some time. And so we've built our risk muscle over time. And we started going back to the origin, like what helped us become, a little bit more risk averse. And so what's fascinating about the research is that we learn about risk primarily through our parents and their perceptions of risk taking. Primarily our mom, though. Like our mom has a tremendous amount of influence over how anyone views risk taking. And so it's a learned behavior, essentially. And if it's a learned behavior, you can learn new behaviors about risk. And there's a lot of misconceptions about risk, like risk is the opposite of reward. But the reality is the path to reward. If anybody thinks about all the significant things they've done in their life, like, get married, had kids, bought a house.
Join the Marines.
Going in the Marines, or even started their own business. There's a tremendous amount of risk. But, some risks are more popular or societal approved, like getting married is tremendously risky. Your success rate is 50-50. That's not, if I was going to say, invest $100,000, you'll either lose half, you'll have a 50-50 chance of winning or losing. You may not take that bet. But those are popular risks that our society improves. And when we get older in life, our dreams and our ambitions become more unique to our life experiences. And so we don't always have the confidence or the courage to take those risks.
Well, I think it's so important to identify that risk may be holding you back. And it's very easy to sort of go, hey, play it safe. Nobody ever got ahead by sticking their hand up and volunteering. We all learned that one in the military. But you can't live life without risk. You can't be in business without risk. You can't be in a marriage, if you will, without risk. But some of this, it sounds like, is you help folks realize they're dealing with the risk factor and then deal with it. Don't let it control your decision making without a full appreciation of what's going on.
And you said the perfect word, and we write about this. We call it the play it safe paradox. Growing up, we are taught to play it safe, even in our nursery rhymes, like Little Red Riding Hood. If you stray from the path and talk to strangers, you could kill your grandma. Like, stay on the path. Don't talk to strangers.
Yeah, don't kill grandma.
So we're taught these things, but there comes a time in life where staying on the prescribed path and not talking to strangers can hurt you. And so, you have to recognize that there will be a time when you have to take risks to get what you want. Well, we're pretty excited. It was a fascinating topic to research. It was super enjoyable to write about, and we are launching in April.
Well, that's fantastic. The book will be coming out in April of 2022, Bet on You, How to Win with Risk. And I think this also folds back into experiences everybody's had in the military. Nothing goes as planned. After the first punch, the fight is on. And you have to then make decisions and take a risk of going on an alternate path or a different approach. And it seems like we do kind of get that drummed out of us to play it safe and whether it's financially or personally. But it really is, no decision is without a certain amount of risk, isn't that the case?
I hear you, and I think it's funny too. People say I don't take risks. These are often the people who haven't had a health check in the past 3 years, or maybe keep all their stocks in one employer pool, or stay in unhealthy relationships. We take risks all the time, and sometimes not making decisions is taking a risk. And so we're trying to illuminate that with readers and give them the courage, like, this isn't a new concept for you. You're doing it already. Now, what if you learn more about it? How can you leverage this for your advantage?
And LeadStar is a leadership development consulting firm. Can you tell us a little bit about sort of how you help corporations or individuals, Angie, in that process?
Listen to this full episode and more on the Apple Podcasts app, Blog Talk Radio, Google Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. And now streaming on Amazon Music, Audible, and Spotify.